Welcome to Ignition Point, the channel for aspiring entrepreneurs. I'm Debbie Hart.
And I'm Sean Finnegan.
And today we've got Holladay here with
right.
Space Station.
Yeah,
what
thanks for
is
having
that? You don't actually work at the space station,
No,
right?
no, but fun fact, we own spacestation.com.
Dude, that's
so back in
Nice.
2017,
Very nice.
we figured out how to acquire spacestation.com. And so worst case, nothing else happens, we're going to be able to just sell the
I think
domain.
officially you have the coolest name for a business of all
Definitely.
time. I mean, how do you beat Space Station?
Tell us about
Right?
your business. What is it? What do you
Yeah.
do?
And we also want to hear the journey because it's fascinating.
Yeah, I'll be
where you
quick with
come
the
from.
story.
Yeah.
So Sean and I, so my co-founder is Sean Duras, or Sean McBride. So he's an influencer, and we went on our mission to Honduras together. That's where the Sean Duras comes from. And my first name's Sean, so too many Seans.
Yeah.
And so we had met there. I lived in Arizona. He lived here in Utah. We were both going down kind of our different journeys. This is 2009. I got back from my mission. I was a telemarketer. I was a debt collector for 3 years. I ran a
About the
janitorial
hardest job
company
ever.
for 2
Yeah.
years. So like telemarketing to debt collecting to janitorial, and just learned,
Earned your stripes.
so many things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Hard work.
incredible pieces. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard work, use of time, all these different pieces. And then Tim and I, my brother Tim, we founded a company called Crowd Mics, and it was an app that would turn your phone into a microphone in a live event. And so we pitched this on stage. It was, well received. It was very novel. No one had really ever done it. We ended up raising capital, sold that in 2016. And now it's like, okay, well, what's next? What's the next chapter? And that was such a phenomenal. I didn't go to school. I did go to school for RN. So I'm a nurse actually.
Yeah.
But I didn't go to school for, business.
What made
or
you want to
any
be a
of those
nurse?
things. I wanted to move back to my tiny hometown. And there's literally, you either worked at the hospital, the school, or you owned a business. And so eventually I was going to buy my mom's Dairy Queen. She owned a Dairy Queen.
Whoa.
So I was going to buy that from her, but I was going to start at the hospital and work my way in, and then just realized didn't really want to move back to the hometown. Nursing wasn't going to be something that I was going to be able to grow and
Not
scale
something
in.
you
And-
love.
Yeah. And I learned that through practice though.
And
through
Dairy
actually
Queen
doing
wasn't,
it.
you're just like, that's not the path for me.
Yeah. I mean, once I started getting the logistics of, teenagers are your like main employer. Yeah. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
That's fun.
And so Sean calls me up and we moved sight unseen to Utah in December of 2016, which was like one of the worst winters.
Sight unseen.
Yeah,
huh?
just to a
You just
place.
picked up, you had
Went
nothing
there.
really you had planned or anything. You just
Four
like, hey,
kids. So I had
Yeah.
4 kids at the time.
Right.
So I had a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and identical twin boys.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So 4 boys. And we came up to just help
we're going to pack up
scale-
and just go find something to do.
scale the YouTube channel. So Sean had
Yeah.
a YouTube
Okay.
channel, Sean
Right.
Duras. He was one of the biggest Snapchatters in the world as well. And so we were just going to get into and see if we could do, more collaborations and brand deals and all kind of different pieces to the business. And so that's where we started. And so by June of 2017, we launched an agency where we thought we had the playbook, right? We knew what we were doing endemically with Sean, like day in, day out, just grinding it out. And we thought some of our contacts, some of the access we had, why not optimize that and also offer that to others in our community?
Sure.
And so started this influencer marketing agency and started a gaming company, so competitive esports. And so we were going to compete just like the Jazz do in basketball. We were going to compete in Rocket League and Rainbow Six Siege.
What
and
made you want to get into the
Halo.
gaming side?
Yeah.
Sean.
He just is a gamer.
Sean was like, yeah, he grown
loves
up
gaming.
gaming, did lands, he was
Were you a
into
gamer
it.
too?
No,
No, it was
I
more
wasn't.
Sean's passion is like, hey, let's also do this.
Yeah, he just was into it.
Yeah.
And this was like pre-Fortnite, pre-Ninja.
Right.
This is before like it really blew up and everybody knew a lot about gaming. This was really early.
Right.
Saw community building, saw that if sports had been so competitive, imagine you could play, you can't play, you're never going to play against LeBron James.
Right.
You're just not going to. It's probably
Yeah.
not going to happen, but you could play against Ninja
Right.
in Fortnite.
Right.
Because it's accessible. We can all get on our computers. We can all go.
Smoky in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
possible,
Yeah,
and you can
that's
queue
right.
up on that.
That's right.
You're never going to find yourself at a pickup game with LeBron. It just doesn't happen.
Right.
So that access felt so unique to us. So we started with those, and we were really, really heads down, had a scrappy team. And then in 2019, we had a friend that approached us, Chris Bennett, who owns 97th Floor down in Lehigh. He comes and he's like, hey, I know you guys love cereal. It was a part of Sean's branding. And at the space station, we'd really gotten into cereal. And he's like, I got this company called Magic Spoon, and you guys should invest in it. And we're like, why not?
It sounds great.
We invested in Magic Spoon seed round, and we went really hard. We seeded it out to all the influencers we were working with.
Kind of the first of its kind. It's a protein based.
First protein, high protein cereal. So we seeded this out to all of our friends, and our friends, are big influencers. And so they were, showing it on Instagram stories and tweeting and doing all these different things. And they loved that. And so they came back to us in 2020 and we're like, hey, we're raising, more capital. Do you guys want to throw in again? And we're like, yeah, for sure. Would you mind if we let some of these, influencers, athletes, buddies invest alongside us
in
an SPV. And they were like, yeah, like that sounds incredible. And so we, you know, gathered up these, you know, these other individuals to throw in checks, and we ended up doing about $1 million. And we were like, what? One, didn't know we could do that. Two, how incredible that we were able to bring this value for everybody. And so from there,
and it was an incredible deal for your buddies.
Oh, incredible deal. It's done phenomenal since. And so it's like, wow, should we do this at scale? And so we walked away and thought, I think we could do it again. And so then since then, so about August, September of 2020 until today, we've done 94 investments across all kinds of different, you know, software, CPG, technology, different kind of technologies. I mean, we're as far as in like SpaceX, we've invested in, to Pura here locally.
Tons of other consumable kind of products.
Overnight Hyper oats Ice. Oats overnight, Slate milk. And so then along this path, we found this company that we absolutely loved that was local here, that they were taking landfill gas and mining Bitcoin. And so this stranded gas that you drive by the freeway, or sometimes you'll see them flaring the fire that's burning. They're burning off, you know, gas. And at a landfill, it's methane. So they're burning off methane. Well, these guys had figured out how to capture that methane, turn it into energy. And then with that energy, if you can get it to the grid, incredible, you can get it to the grid and it can be used. If not, it's stranded. It's can only kind of be used right there on site. And so we use it to mine Bitcoin. And so just today, like as hours before walking in here, about an hour, we just did a pilot program with Marathon Digital, which is the largest Bitcoin mining publicly traded company. And we're doing a pilot here in Utah with them on mining Bitcoin, you know, using our landfill gas.
I love it how you came out of the gates and you literally just kind of moved up here, and then all of a sudden it turned to this and that, and just the vision of what you've all done, right?
So along that too, though, was I knew no one here. I had two brothers in Lehigh, and Sean were the three humans that I knew. But then I'd meet a guy like Finnegan, and then Finnegan and I have done incredible deals together, have been able to bring each other great people and, you know, value. And so I just really got attracted to Utah had this energy, this you know, fire about it.
So what's your advice for an entrepreneur that would be looking for investors?
Looking for investors, find like the niche that you fit in. Too often, you know, as a scrappy entrepreneur, I've raised capital before outside of like our investment firm, like CrowdMikes, we raise capital, is that you just think, all right, anyone with money is going to make sense. And you're going to a real estate guy trying to get, you know, money for a CPG product, or you're going to a tech firm for your physical product, or you know who is going to most likely get excited about what you're doing and understand what you're doing. And then you'll have much better luck and momentum. It's like know your target audience, right?
They'll become a strategic partner.
Yep. And so now all of a sudden, you have a lot higher likelihood than just spinning your wheels with people who might have money. Firms, that's literally what they do, is deploy capital, but they're not going to deploy, like literally their governance says they can only deploy into B2B SaaS, right? Or into CPG products or into whatever that might be. So narrow your focus.
So we have this bag that you see here.
Things
so we asked Sean
to finish the story too. So we then, you know, investing, then we started reimagining content in 2020 when it was harder to get out and for Sean to film, and we wanted to keep the scale and the opportunity. So we have an animation studio. So we take existing content
which I've seen
that Sean and Adley have shot,
incredible work,
and then it's like full 3D animated content that we then use. And then we have an apps team, Space Station Apps, that has a Roblox game and, you know, 3 store, you know, apps in the App Store, all with over 1 million downloads.
His office, by the way, we're going here next, is insane. We're talking dinosaur head in there, a big slide in there. I mean, there's the coolest stuff. Yeah, it is about the coolest. Yeah, there's secret rooms and passages, and you go through the portal, and I mean, it's
so close to an ant farm.
Right? That would have been cool. Oh, wow. That's a great idea.
Yeah. So along the way, we've been able to partner with incredible, you know, individuals, companies, invest in them, all kind of different pieces. And this one was one where on the influencer marketing side, we partnered with Peter McKinnon. He's the largest photographer. He's got 3.2 million on Instagram, 6 million on YouTube. And we thought, you know, we had a brand come to us and say, hey, let's do a backpack. And we're like, let's just do our own backpack. And so Nomadic here locally is a backpack company or a bag company. And we worked with them. And so we've done like 80,000 units of this bag. Wow. Not just this one. We have 3 different bags. But
my 15-year-old son would love that bag.
Yep.
Peter McKinnon special edition.
So it's all about photography, right? And so it had, you know, tons of different innovation to it. There's not much more in here. But on that same lines, we then took Tanner Fox has a car. His very first car was called Guaczilla. The car had 500,000
Guaczilla.
followers.
That's
the
good.
car. So we're like, how do we optimize that?
Right.
You know, you have the Michelin and you have these others that you could maybe get partnerships with. And then we're like, well, what if we made it a Hot Wheels car? And so this is actually the second Hot Wheels that we did. But we did a Hot Wheels car where this is Space Station Gaming with Tanner Fox and Hot Wheels, where we came out with our own Hot Wheels car. So if you could get it at Target and Walmart.
Look at that design.
And so, yeah, this was us like
freaking
finding a
awesome.
way to work together with brands in different capacities. We've done another local one here, My Medic. So they do medical kits. And we came with Shan Tripp, who's a pediatric ER nurse, and said, hey, what if we, did a specific product to your audience? And then this is done incredibly well. And super innovative. Like every time that you open up a product, you can scan a QR code and she pops up and says, hey, so this is for, burns. If it looks like this, you should maybe use this.
So
if it
cool.
does that. And so you feel confident. You're like, all right, somebody's helping me.
Yeah.
Somebody's telling me. And so we've done a bunch of cool, there's so many more incredible things. We just
If you
did
went to
a
his office, you'd see
music video with Barbie
tons of
and
stuff
Sean's
in there.
daughter,
Music video with Barbie.
Adley.
Right?
Yep.
Wow.
Yes.
We've done.
You do so many things. How do
Sold
you
out
balance
shows
It's
at
so
Staples
inspiring.
Center.
So when
Yeah,
you're
ton of just
around,
crazy stuff.
as you can see, you're going to be inspired watching this because isn't your mind
all
open
the
now?
ideas?
It's like,
Yeah.
I need
wheels
to,
are
every
turning.
time I leave their place, I'm like, I'm a slacker. I need to raise my game, right? Is that how you feel?
Yep.
We've gone for after the things we love and been able to find ways to make it work, to keep doing it and sustain that at a level, and surrounded by incredible people.
What's the best way for people to follow in the journey?
At the Space Station, that's our Instagram. That's probably where you'll see a accumulation of all these different pieces. We have events at our office probably once a quarter in some capacity, whether it's with Silicon Slopes or Founders and Funders, or we've done stuff with X Room, or, so there's other ways to actually interact as well and come and be involved or be a part of some of these.
You're on Instagram.
And then spacestation.com. I'm on Instagram, Sean
LinkedIn.
Holladay. Yeah, LinkedIn's where I spend a lot of my time as well.
Right.
From a social perspective.
What's your best advice for entrepreneurs?
Oh man, early stage entrepreneurs, like just barely
let's
getting into
say
it, or-
kind of ignition point level entrepreneurs. They're going to go launch.
I would absolutely provide more value than you're getting. Go and surround yourself with the people that are inspiring, that are motivating, that are thoughtful and helpful to what you're doing, and then you just got to work really, really, really hard. I think that piece oftentimes can fall off. I read this book and I saw this thing and I had this quote that just really got me going and I'm stoked. You got to go execute.
Do
Like you
something
got to
about
go
it.
to work
Yeah.
about it, and you got to go do. And so,
Implement what you learned.
yeah, that's one of the biggest things, is just go to work.
Awesome.
Good stuff. Thank you.
This is fast.
Thank you for being here.
I was trying to hopefully.
I mean, in a
feel like
short
I
period of
talked the whole
time, you inspired a lot of
did.
people today.
A
So
lot of
we
good
really
advice.
appreciate the
Yeah, thanks for
contribution.
having me on.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
If any of you watching today have any doubts that your current CPA is not helping you take 100% advantage of the deductions you deserve and helping you stay compliant with the IRS, then don't hesitate to get involved with TaxHive today. You won't be disappointed.